Hello, this is Coffee Break with Ninita, a daily guide of coping skills that gets us through by making us strong. We had a good meeting last night as we were exploring how the challenges as we come face to face with them release energy that either make us feel great, wonderful, or make us feel sad, distraught, and of course everything in between. And this kind of energy we emphasized of why it is so important that we are going to keep it contained by taking the 3 steps we mentioned the week before, which are focus on this kind of energy that impacts us when we are faced with a challenge, and put the effort to direct whatever emotions we have into reaching out to someone we trust that will help us clear our thoughts and put things in perspective before we take action and react. And we mentioned that those challenges that come our way have the ability to put us on survival mode, where the characteristics of survival mode is that our reality of our perception is distorted, sometimes in small ways and other times in large ways. And because our reality is distorted, often we end up taking action that it is very much influenced by how we feel, not necessarily by what is going on, but how we feel. It is true, it is very important to be aware of how we feel, but it is not helpful if always we take action while we're still overwhelmed with our feelings, because that is when we miss the mark. This is when we make mistakes. And we talked about 2 groups of emotions that are expressing the energy that comes every time we are faced with a challenge. And we used 2 acronyms, half and whole. And both words mean something that it is very much in agreement with the emotions described in the acronym. Half means incomplete. It means something is missing. It's inadequate. And half as an acronym, or what we call it in StayWHOLE, half emotions, are emotions that have hurt, anger, loneliness, fear, and frustration within it. Often, it is not easy to describe what exactly we are feeling, what exactly that energy that is coming from the challenge brings to us. Could it be hurt? Could it be anger? Could it be both? It could be frustration. And that's why often we call it in StayWHOLE halfness. Sometimes it's not as important to know exactly the emotion as it is important to know the state we are in. Why? Because by knowing what state we are in emotionally, we can better decide whether to take action of addressing the situation in the world around us that the challenge is focusing on, or to first take a moment to focus and put the effort to reach out to people that we trust, whether they are professional or spiritual fathers, and be able to sort things out and clear our minds for the effects of these emotions, of this energy, emotional energy. So whatever we do, whatever action we take is clear and rational. And it is not coming from passion, it is coming from clarity. On the other hand, whole emotions is another group of energy that also comes every time challenges comes our way, and that kind of energy, it makes us feel good, complete, empowered. And the initials of that acronym that describe the energy is WHOLE. W stands for warm, H stands for happy, O stands for optimistic, L stands for loving, and E stands for empowered, energized, empowering, all of the above. And when, again, like we did with half, wholeness helps us define and describe the emotional state we are. And when we feel whole, it is a good place to be as we reach out and express and do things in interaction with others and with the world. We see people that have a positive attitude. We see people that are very inspiring, and these people are like you and me. They, of course, get affected by challenges, but they have developed the ability to recognize when challenges that cause them half emotions happen, and do their homework, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously, where they focus on the challenging emotions and they put the effort in directing them into prayer or talking to others that they know they are whole at the time of reaching out. That's why it is so important, even though it feels so good when we are hurting, to be around others that they are hurting equally. It is also very important to recognize the pain, to recognize our halfness, but not to take action. It's okay to be around people that hurt the way we hurt, and share. But often that kind of emotional state calls for action in the direction of reaching out and talking to a professional, a spiritual father, reaching out to prayer, where we can draw some wholeness so that those half emotions, even though we still feel them, we recognize them, but we are not allowing them to come out in our behaviors in a way that can destroy, can cause hurt and pain to others. This is the most important thing we have to always keep in mind. Our hurt, our pain, our frustration won't benefit neither us nor others if it is channeled to the outside world. If instead stays contained and processed, this is what wisdom and maturity comes from pain, from halfness. Because if we deal with them the right way, they become knowledge, experience, wisdom, empowerment. But if we react and use them as power against the world around us, the world around us is going to hurt, and so are we going to hurt in the end.